Project X channel.
Morning troops, how are you all doing? It's time to get this seat unit off and check the wiring under there, make sure everything's secure, or see if we can discover some more gremlins. Alright, we had some success yesterday, we got the ignition wiring all sorted out, happy with that. I've not checked the indicators and stuff yet, but I've not got them plugged in. We'll deal with that later, but first of all, let's get this seat unit off. Keys. I do believe, in fact I don't need the keys, because there's no lock. No lock mechanism under here, so what I need to do is find the cable that secures the latch, and I can't see it, can't feel it. I've got wires hanging down here, which is not very good. Yeah, there's no lock mechanism, it should be there. I don't know where the cable is, or if it's got one. That won't come off. I don't want to break anything. Oh god, that's difficult. Ah! Awesome. And we've got quite a heavily butchered under tray. Not very nice at all. So take a look in here. That's the cable, obviously. We need to leave that down there. I'm not going to put this cover back on until we've dealt with this actually. My problem now is that I only have one key for the ignition, a separate key for the tank, so that's probably an aftermarket one. I want to get rid of that, and we don't have a lock set for it, so that is a bit of a bugger. So what I'm going to do, I've got another Srad which is a project also, so I think what I'm going to do is remove the lock set from that and transfer it to this one, because I'm going to do other things with the other Srad. That's what I'll do. Right, so the wiring's all over the place, don't like it. Let's get this off. Got quite a lot of stuff loose here, so that's what's happened to the lock. It appears to have been hacksawed off there. Look, you can see that. We've got the starter solenoid just loose rattling around, and all sorts of things here. Okay, ECU, that's loose as well. Right, so I'm just going to have 5 minutes and check out all these components, make sure the electrics are functioning as they should, there's no damage to them, and then I'm going to reassess how I'm going to secure all these, so I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, okay, so I'm starting to take all these connectors out of this connector block. This is for the regulator rectifier from the stator. We've got wires here, well, we've got the connectors actually starting to melt in there, so that can end up creating problems for us. So I've got myself a new block here. This is from another bike which I changed the stator wiring on a long time ago. I'm going to use this block and transfer these connectors into that block. The way to get these out okay, this one's stuck in, so I'm going to have to butcher this to get it out. The way to get these out, quite fiddly. What I'll do is I'll just place that one in there like that. There's a little tab under here which you need to push that down to get these out. So if you put a slight bit of pressure pulling this way on this wire, you can just get your little Allen key or something like that in there. There we go. So it's pretty difficult with some old Allen key, but you can, I said this before, I think you can get tools to remove these with. I'm going to get some. I really desperately need some. I don't know where mine are. I should have ordered them by now, but that's how you get these clips out. You can see in there, look, those little tabs, push those down and it should break these connectors free. That's the same with most connectors in any block. You can get them out and replace them, so you don't have to just cut wires and solder them all the time. But this one here, this is definitely going to have to be cut out because it's welded in there, it's melted in there, so that's what we're going to do and put another connector on the end of it. Right, so that's cut out there now. You can see this is all bloody mangled and melted in there, so I had to cut that out. Yeah, it wouldn't pop out on its own. So I've got my new connector block here. If you're unsure, if you're ever putting these together, just stick it in there like that. You can line up all your wiring. So it's going to go that one there, like that. I'm going to unclip it, it's probably a bit easier. Quite a fiddly job. It doesn't really matter what sequence these power wires, I call them, go in. I'm just going to wrap some tape around here because it's exposed on the back end there. Then we'll clip that in there. We'll clip him in. That should be good to go. Okay, so the starter solenoid wiring looks pretty gruesome to me. It wants a nice clean up, does that. There's a little bit of corrosion starting in here. Not a problem. We're going to use something to clean this up, and I'm going to show you a little hack. And we're going to be using Harpic Power Plus to clean the metal. Right, so this is the stuff that cleans rust off. I'm going to show you some more hacks, some more little tricks you can do with this on exhaust, anything like any rusty parts and bolts. You can use this to clean them up. Harpic Power Plus. So what I'm going to do, get some in this little paint lid and get my solenoid. So this dirty old nasty looking copper wire on there is going to get a treat. I'm simply going to dip it in, but usually if you leave things stood overnight in this, you pull it out in the morning, it's bloody spotless. You can see it working already. I can see bubbles forming and changes in the colour of this copper, so it does start acting immediately. So if I just rub that, you can just see the results straight away, and that's coming up nice. It's cleaning that copper. Of course you want to neutralise this once it's been in there. So dip it in some water and then some oil. If you're doing metal bolts and things, we'll do some later. I'll do another video on Harpic. It's magic. And what we'll do, we'll clean some bolts up, and then I'll show you how to protect them, because you need to neutralise this stuff, or otherwise it'll keep eating away at the metal. Look at that. It's coming up nice and clean straight away. So I don't really need to use a wire brush on it, but it's there anyway, just to give it a little bit more of a scrub. But look at that. Yeah, if you've got dirty old copper wiring, this will clean it. That is good to go. So I'm going to get the other side here, just give that a clean. Be rude not to. Splash it on. I think I'm going to be boosting Harpic's sales now. I could actually get this, tip it into a different bottle and rebrand it as Project X Channel Rust Remover. Look at that, just quick results, fantastic. I mean, it doesn't actually, well, it's not that hard just to get a wire brush and scrub this copper wire, but some parts of these you can't get a brush into. to clean them, and it does do a fantastic job. You should see what it does on an exhaust, a rusty old exhaust. I'm going to clean it. I mean, that's brought that up straight away. Gets rid of all the oxidization. Straight away it's brought that up. That's brought that up fantastic. Right, let's get these cleaned up. A little bit of a wipe, but look at that. It's like brand new, isn't it? Absolute awesome stuff. So, Harpic Power Plus, that's what you need. Pretty much out of WD-40 as well. Okay, good job, we'll get that back on. Right, let's take a look at the wiring. So everything's nice and neat now. I've secured the under tray. I've got the battery terminals are all got rubber boots on them, so they're nice and protected. I've got the regulator rectifier, the wiring, that's all done. You saw me do that earlier. It's all secured in here now. The original mount for these electrics wasn't in the bike, wasn't with the bike, so I don't know what's happened to that. Usually on Srads, this regulator rectifier goes here, but for some reason this one doesn't fit on there. I'm not sure why it's there, but there's a different bracket under there, so I don't know if it's from another Srad or whether they changed them in different years or what, why they do it, I don't know. So yeah, the SATA solenoid, I protected all that a bit better. It's all covered up under there and secure. And the indicator wiring, I've reran that so it's out of the way. It's not seen in the under tray because I hate that. It's nicely tucked behind here. Done. I'm going to order a new lock set, complete lock set, or I may just take the lock set from the other Srad. I've got change of tank, ignition, lock set, just so I've got this all complete with 2 keys, and I can get another one for the other Srad later, because that's got a lot more work to do on the other one. So that's what I think I may do. Right, let's get these let's get the seat unit on for now and get these forks off. Back end is on the bike now, all the wiring's done. I've just finished off by tidying the indicator wiring up under there, so there's no more wiring to repair on this bike. It's all good. Right, next thing now, we're going to get these forks off, get these forks done like I said before. What I'll be doing is just slackening off all these pinch bolts and all the caliper bolts, stuff like that. So that way it makes it easier when we get the wheel out of there. We're not trying to struggle to get these off. Right, let's crack on. But all I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls, and I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious I know. Okay, now here's a little tip. The first thing I'm going to do before I pull these forks out is loosen the caps off. So what I'm going to do is, or what I've done is, I've pushed the forks up so I can see this cap here. I can get to it with the fork spanner. These aren't tight, this is not tight, handlebars or clamps, so this is loose. This is just literally so it can grip the fork, like I can slacken these off before I pull them out. Otherwise, they're going to be really tight. Also, I'm going to wind out all the preload adjusters, stuff like that, just so we don't damage them. They are very sensitive. That's the leaky one. Alright, fork seals are all done, so let's get these banged back on the bike. Alright, back in reverse again, putting these back together. I'm going to tighten up the top clamp now, the fork cap. So this is all loose up here. I've stuck it up higher just so we don't grip it, and these two pinch bolts here are tightened up, so we're going to use our fork cap spanner. I'm going to set this so it's 10mm from the top. I'm not going to put the caps flush with the yokes. Oh, believe it or not, that's bang on. Okay, other thing is I'm just going to get my torque wrench to make sure these are torqued up correctly. The reason being is when you tighten one pinch bolt, you're slackening the other. Tighten these up, get the brakes banged on the wheel, and we'll do the brake fluid.
I'd walk through fire just to be understood in my own neighborhood. No one told me that I could.